I'm sure you've seen the trend of normalizing secondhand gifts, but isn't that tacky to give something used? I'm going to show you how to shop for thrifted gifts and how to give them in a way that is intentional and beautiful. I love thrifting for gifts for several reasons. First of all, of course, is the cost. You can purchase new, like new, and vintage items for a fraction of the cost. The other thing is being able to give something that is unique, especially if you know someone that collects vintage things. Antique stores can be pricey, but buying something at a yard sale or a thrift store can cut the cost dramatically. So if you want to hone your thrifting skills and get some new ideas and inspiration for Christmas this year, stay tuned. When I am shopping for gifts, I'm pretty much hitting every area of a thrift store. So let's do a little shopping. I'll show you what I am keeping an eye out for, and then we'll come back and I'll show you my haul. Even if you're not sure about giving secondhand gifts, thrift stores are the way to go in finding containers that you can wrap your gifts in. Some of these baskets are just beautiful, and they would be a gift in and of themselves, but if you filled them with your gift, wrapped in cellophane, would be beautiful. I love looking at dishes. 99 cents is a great price for a mug that would be beautiful as a gift or in a stocking. I loved this blue and white stripe, but it had a chip on the corner. Never, never. No dishes with chips. Now these two were in perfect condition, and because it was a set of two, I feel like that makes an even better gift. I always take a look at books. You never know what you're going to find, but looking for new or like new is very important. Unless it's a particular book that you know someone would love and that they wouldn't mind that it was secondhand. For plant lovers in your life, thrifting containers is so easy. They are plentiful and inexpensive. Loved this gray one. And this pink one was just so sweet. These would be beautiful with an ivy or African violet, a beautiful gift. Buying secondhand can be tricky. You need to know that whoever you're buying for wouldn't mind receiving a secondhand gift. This is very important. I have an established culture with my family. We raised our kids thrifting. They love to buy secondhand. They're thrilled if a sibling finds a deal for them and passes it on, finds something that they know they would love and they just feel cared for and thought of. That can be really special, but know the people you are buying for. What might be a huge blessing for one person might make another one feel not so blessed. If that hasn't been their culture, they just might feel like you weren't willing to spend money on them. I just have to tell myself, resist the pillows, walk away, you can do it. Also, I always check out board games because there are so many that are brand new, puzzles too. And again, any type of yard game, especially the new ones from Target that are at Goodwill, those are always a great buy. And I check out the stuffed animals. Again, always looking for something new with tags or in new condition. I'm such a sucker for dishes, especially little ones and sets of things. I have this set in milk glass and I love it. But like a set of 3 little dishes are just such a sweet gift. And I love these divided trays. This one is very particular. You'd have to know that this would fit with someone's style. Otherwise, stick with plain white. This was a great crate with a linen liner, and I thought it would be really nice to wrap a gift in. And also these little metal crates, they would be great for holding a gift. And they could be used as well, great storage options. They were nice and rustic. For a friend or family member who spends a lot of time outside, I thought this napkin holder was really cute. It's got a weight to keep them held down in the wind, and it would be nice with a packet of really cute napkins added to that. And for $2.99, it would be a really sweet gift. Again, know who you're buying for. I thought this plastic tray was so cute, but it personally is not my style and I would probably never use it. but I know a lot of people that would love a gift like this, and it was brand new. I didn't buy any placemats, but I found two adorable sets. This green kind of woven, I loved the color, and then this blue with a blanket edging, so cute. Brand new bath salts would be great in a stocking. I also found this little mini lunchbox, which I thought was so sweet and would be a great gift for one of the grandkids. Kids love to put stuff inside of things. Stuffed animals, again, you're just looking for things in really great condition. I almost brought this turtle home for me because it was so sweet. This was a kid's bath towel with a hood, and it was brand new with tags, but a little beat up. And this umbrella I did not get, but I almost wish I had because I think one of my granddaughters would have just loved it. And umbrellas don't always last long with kids, so it's nice to get them when they're cheap. I thought this was a beautiful glass canister. It would be really nice in a bathroom, for example, with cotton balls. I spent months looking for a water dispenser for one of my guest rooms, and this one would have been perfect. It was so pretty. You could have kept the top on it or turned it into a set with another glass. I have so much great stuff. I'm not even sure where to start. Last year when I did this, this was one of my most popular Christmas videos. And that's why I decided to do it again this year. You guys loved it and said it inspired you, so I am hoping to provide a little encouragement this year as well. I only bought a couple of things for myself. I'll do those at the end. So let's start with kids. My husband and I currently have 10 grandchildren, so that's a lot of kids to buy for. If you missed my simplifying Christmas video, I will link that below. I just can't encourage you enough to do less with gifts, to spend less, to absolutely never, ever, ever go into debt for Christmas. But even if we have the money to buy things, and even if we're buying things inexpensively, secondhand, doesn't mean we should be giving a bunch of clutter to our family. Now, we buy these things hoping they will be loved and used, but that's not always the case. So we give with an open hand. Please use this and enjoy it. And if at any point it is not useful to you, if it is not adding to your life, please give it to someone else or donate it. Okay, off my soapbox and back to kids. I found this beautiful towel, a toddler towel. What I loved about this is it's not an infant towel. Those tend to be very small for babies. This one is really big, and it would be perfect, I would say, up to the age of maybe even 7 or 8. This lovely soft fabric, and that's what drew my eye. I saw it across the way at a thrift store and made a beeline. This is from the Pillow Fort line at Target. This item was new with tags. However, the tag was ripped off, so they stapled it back on. It still has the clearance tags kind of ripped off, and it's a mess. In part 2, I'm going to show you how to deal with stuff like this. How do you wrap it? Do you leave the tag on because it shows what it was? Do you take it off? I've got some great guidelines for you in the wrapping phase, so stay tuned for that. But I just thought this was lovely, and honestly, I have 4 granddaughters, so I'm not sure who's going to get this. I'm probably going to do a little investigating and see who needs it the most. There are always tons of stuffed animals at thrift stores. I think because we give them so frequently, and most kids already have more than they need, so they get donated. But because of that, you often can find brand new ones. And that's important for a stuffed animal. Or with clothing. You don't want it looking raggedy. It needs to look new. I couldn't pass up this guy. He's in perfect condition, no tags on him, but spotless. And he has those Velcro arms and legs, which when I was a kid, I just loved. I had a koala bear that I attached all over my room and on my backpack. So I think he's going to be a really fun gift. I also found this beautiful dinosaur. Really soft fabric, and he is in great condition. No tears, no stains, $2.99, great deal. I found this set from Target of these woodland animals. They're made of felt, a fox, a bunny, a squirrel, and a hedgehog. These are adorable, but the box is shredded. So again, we have something new, but it doesn't look new because of the box. So I have a solution for that. Also, I found this. This was 99 cents. These guys were $6. But that means they were 12 new. When Goodwill gets the Target items, they price them at half their original cost. When I saw this, I immediately thought of this and an idea to put them together to make a really cute gift. So I'm excited to show you that. There are a few things here that I thrifted on my summer road trip series, but most of this I purchased in the last week. Now, I did go to 2 different towns. Don't be afraid to venture out. I will drive an hour away, spend half a day thrifting. I go through pretty quick, but that's where I found most of this. That's not always the case, but I was very blessed last week. I found this entire set of beginning readers from Dr. Seuss, and these are in new condition. They were 99 cents each for all the hardbacks. They would be amazing given as a set. That is a $4 gift. That's just incredible, and it probably includes every single one of the Dr. Seuss books. I'm just looking at all of these. Some of my favorites: Are You My Mother? Go Dog Go. I Want to Be Someone New. 10 Apples Up on Top. These are some of my absolute favorites. But just one of these books would be amazing. Now, this does have an inscription in it, so what do you do with that when you're wanting to re-gift? We'll cover that when we wrap it. These 3 were all sitting together on the shelf. One of them is the Star Wars 5-minute stories. And again, this is in new condition, no inscription in the front. The pages are pristine. I don't even think this was read. I have a grandson who will love this. Next is this Disney Classics, My First Bedtime storybook. Brand new, beautiful, thick pages. And it goes through a lot of the classic Disney books with all the illustrations. Brought back memories for me. The first movie I ever saw in a theater was Jungle Book. And this one is bedtime favorites. A little more up to modern times, but again, brand new. I don't even know if it was cracked open. This book alone has a price of $18. This will be such an incredible gift, and at Goodwill, these were all 99 cents each. Normally, I will look at clothing, especially sweaters, to look for new sweaters that just make a great gift. I did not check out clothes last week. I was going really quick through housewares and toys, but I did come across this sweater that is for my son, and I think it's beautiful. I really think he will love it. If I can get this collar down here. But just a beautifully made sweater. I found this at Goodwill for $8. Last one in the kid department was a board game called Tea Party. This is right up my alley and would be so fun to play with my granddaughters. It is such a sweet game. It did receive a toy award. It looks like it's really well made, very sturdy box. It has the directions and a diagram. It comes with a little fabric tablecloth. So you lay this out first, and then there is a spinner. And you spin the teapot to collect the various aspects of an afternoon tea. So you're hoping to get a teacup, sandwiches, plate, napkin and utensils, dessert, fruit, cream and sugar. Here are some of the pieces: strawberries and grapes, a cinnamon roll. I just thought this was adorable, and I think my granddaughters will love to play it, maybe some of the grandsons too. All of the pieces are in here. None of them have been chewed on by a toddler or a baby. They're in great shape, and so this just makes a beautiful gift. All right, moving on to dishes and wood items. I thrifted this pegboard a while back, thinking I might use it in my own kitchen. I ended up deciding not to, but I know the perfect person to give this to, and I know she will love it and it will look beautiful in her home. Next, this tray I feel like could be given to anyone. It's so pretty. There's no marking on it, but it's this beautiful oval. It would be so lovely for soap and lotion, or in the kitchen, soap and a scrub brush, or even for jewelry on a dresser. It was $2.99. I found this cheese set. It's a knife and a cheese slicer, and it's made out of pewter. It's very heavy, quite beautiful. And this was taped to a rather ugly plate, and the set was marked $10. And I thought, I don't want to pay $10 and I don't want this plate. So I asked, is there any way you would separate the set? I'm just interested in the flatware. The employee graciously agreed, split the set, and charged me $2 for this. I couldn't believe it. Such a great deal. These are just beautiful, classic pieces. And I have a great idea on how to style and wrap this. Now, this one was a tiny risk, but not really. I found this gorgeous pedestal. It has a Marshall's price tag on it for $15. I paid $2.99. I think it's absolutely beautiful. I would love to receive this myself. The problem is there are ink markings on it. Now the thing is, this is wood. This can be sanded down. This could be re-oiled, and I think it's going to be gorgeous. I got this beautiful set of 4. What are these called? They're not really ramekins. They aren't mini casserole dishes. There are so many things you can make in these, and I love the classic white set of 4 in perfect condition. But I do have a very exciting idea for these. I can't wait to show you. I found these 2 beautiful mugs, such a classic design, 99 cents each. And I'm thinking that I'm going to put these in a basket with a selection of teas. It depends on who you give it to. If you're giving it to a coffee lover, then you could do some kind of specialty coffee. But because this is such a classic shape and color, it would be a beautiful gift for just about anyone. This probably should have gone with the kids' stuff, but it's not necessarily a children's gift. I paid $8 for this beautiful tablecloth with 8 napkins. I just want to show you these up close. They have this beautiful floral with a little pink and white check around the edges. And the tablecloth has this beautiful scalloped edge. It's just gorgeous. This would be a beautiful gift for anyone in your life who enjoys entertaining, who enjoys afternoon tea. But I was thinking that I would get my granddaughters set up with some tea items. Either that, or I would keep this here at my house, and when the grandkids come, we could start a new tradition of afternoon tea together. And of course, we can play the tea party game. I talked about stockings in my video on simplifying Christmas, having less stress, and stockings tend to be a clutter magnet. We will throw just about anything in there, and it doesn't matter if it has a value, if it gets broken the same day. And we actually can spend a lot of money on junk. So I encourage you, put in cash, put in gift cards, put in really practical things, consumable things, gum, candy. Of course, there are traditions and things that we love to put in stockings. So don't get rid of the things that your family really loves. But I think you can simplify and get rid of the excess. If I'm going to thrift for stocking items, I don't want to spend a lot of money, and I do want to try to personalize things and choose things that will really bless an individual family member or friend. I picked up this Pioneer Woman towel for my mom. She's probably watching, but Mom, just forget you saw this. I think it's so cute. It is in her color scheme. It would be so easy just to roll it up and pop it in a stocking. I also found this beautiful pink towel. This is a threshold one for my daughter-in-law. Okay, actually, Mom, if you're watching this, you're all done. Cut, turn it off. You're grounded. A couple other things I got for my mom's stocking. She loves socks and she loves the 4th of July. And I found these darling Talbot socks, brand new with tags. She will love them. Pop those in her stocking. They were $1. And also this little pad of paper. It's a Vera Bradley set. And Vera Bradley has been loved in my family for generations. And it's just such a cute little classic gift and perfect for a stocking. I found a little coloring book. It was 50 cents, and none of the pages are colored, like new. That'll go in one of the grandkids' stockings. I also found this game, Dutch Blitz. Have any of you heard of this? I don't have the game. I've never played it, but I've heard it's really fun. So when I saw these at Target, they were originally $14, 14 bucks for a set of cards, but really $14 for a game. They were marked down on clearance to $4. So I bought 6 of them. I actually bought all that they had, I think, and I'm just going to put those in all the kids' stockings. This could be a stocking or just a gift. I found this set of 3 necklaces, and so for the price of $3, one of them has a letter on it that doesn't apply. I don't have anyone with a K, but the other 2 were so cute. And again, what do you do when you have a like new item, but it's thrashed? It doesn't look new because the cardboard is all bent. And so I don't want to give it like this. So we're going to come up with a creative way to give this to make it look really special. I forgot a mug. Thought this one was darling, and I have one daughter in particular who I think will really love it. 99 cents in the stocking. Now keep in mind, this is what I gathered from 2 days of thrifting. Ideally, you're thrifting throughout the year. I will often skim a little bit of money off the grocery budget, $5, $10, $15 for the month, and see what I can get, and then it doesn't even touch my Christmas budget. The advantage of looking throughout the year is that you will find more specific gifts. You will have a better selection and more time to choose. The disadvantage, by far, is that it's more time to buy too much. You can overbuy so easily. You can buy things, stash them, not even realize what you have. So I strongly recommend that you start first of all with the budget. Second of all, as you are shopping throughout the year, please write down everything you purchase and who you're planning to give it to so that you have a good idea and you don't end up with a closet full of stuff that you had practically forgotten about. I normally do not buy any gift wrap for Christmas because I thrift it, and if I really need to, if I need to fill in a hole with something, I buy on clearance the day or 2 after Christmas. But I could not pass up this wrapping paper. I thought it was so pretty, and I'm a quilter, so it very much reminds me of a star quilt square. And this was 99 cents, and it's extra tall and a lot of wrapping paper, brand new, a great deal. I also thrifted these flannel pants. Now I was specifically looking for flannel. I was looking in the pajama section so that I could cut this into strips to use as ribbon. And I found this set, an extra large men's bottoms, and this is going to give me a lot of fabric that I can use to wrap with. Here are a couple of other wrapping ideas. $1.99 for this darling basket, and it's got this fur-lined faux leather trim around the edge and lined inside. It's just really cute. So this is going to be great to give as a gift, stuffed full of things. I also found this crate, and it comes with a linen insert that ties on the corners, and I just thought it was so cute. I definitely have a plan for this. Has to do with these. Comment below if you have a guess what I'm going to do with this. You can also guess what I'm going to do with these. And lastly, if you've been with me on The Peaceful Home for any length of time, you probably know about my addiction. Pillows. My husband is just so gracious. He's like, "You bought a pillow." I'm like, "Yes, I did." But I just loved it. And I really think that this will be beautiful all winter long, not just for Christmas. And that was motivating for me. It was also $4.95. It's a gorgeous threshold pillow with a zipper close. At least I think it's threshold. Yes, it is. I remember seeing it in Target and just thinking it was so gorgeous, but I was not going to pay $30 for it, but I will pay $5. Lastly, I love Courier knives. I did an entire video. It was either last Christmas or the year before. I will link it below if you missed it, but I found these glasses and they're so, so pretty. I believe these were originally a set of 8 because there are 2 of this pattern, 2 of this pattern, and then just 1 each of 2 other patterns. So 4 patterns total, but I only have 6 glasses. You know, I can't find the price, but I know I bought all 6 as a set, and I think it was around $5. Most of these have snow scenes with these beautiful fall colors, so I think these would be gorgeous even at Thanksgiving, and they will go really nicely with my Johnson Brothers dishes. All right, Christmas Thrift Haul 2025 Part 1. Stay tuned for Part 2 where I wrap everything up and get it ready to give. If you haven't subscribed, would you just hit that button right now? That's all you have to do. Hit the button, it's done. That is what shows support for my channel and that you believe this is content worth having on YouTube. Thanks so much for joining me today on The Peaceful Home. I'll see you in the next video.